Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Life Theories podcast. My name is Diana, and today we have a special guest, Reggie Bowles. Reggie is a life coach, or he also is the founder of an online group called Dreamers of the Day, where the power of contemplation transforms dreams into reality. So, we're going to talk a little bit more about that and in regards to how this can help raise our consciousness and inspire positive change in the world. So, Reggie, welcome. If you
Good to
could
be
tell us a
here.
little bit more about yourself and the method and your group and what inspired you to create that group.
Well, I'm a life coach, and basically, it's just a combination of things I've learned in my own life at work, and manifestation is a big part of it. A lot of the way I go about manifesting is based on the work of Helene Hatzel. Have you ever heard of her?
Who?
Helene Hatzel.
I don't think I've heard. I haven't heard.
It was called The Name. She wrote a book way back. She's no longer with us. She is called The Name It and Claim It Game, I guess.
Oh,
Uh,
I know that. I know
yeah.
that book. Yeah.
She was a very successful contester, and if anybody can prove to you that the law of attraction or manifestation works, she can, because it's winning contest. It's not that I mean, it's said that she won 5,000. I think that's hyperbole myself, but she won a lot, and she won whatever she set her mind to. She might not win every contest, but let's say she wanted a car, she would get a car. And after she basically got everything she wanted out of life, she started really, going into deeper questions, more metaphysical and stuff like that. She got involved in it's called the mind control method. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. This guy from Mexico made it up, and she
Is that
became
the
his.
Silva, the
Yeah,
Silva
that's
method?
it. That's it.
Oh, I've
Yeah,
heard of that.
I
Okay, yeah,
use
yeah.
the Silva method
She
quite
was his
often, actually.
assistant for
Oh,
years.
cool. That's why I
And
know the name.
she's just a little housewife from Texas, and her story is just amazing. And I've used her methods with myself, and of course, other things I've learned. Just you put it all together, whether it's exercise, nutrition, it's basically helping people get and be and do what they want out of life.
The theory with regards to this matter. I'll go other way with regards to the question I'm going to ask with regards to The Secret, right?
Yeah.
Now, back about 96, best marketing I've ever seen, right? Especially in Australia. So basically, they went on there, did an ad and go, rightio, you can get whatever you want. Read this book, you can get whatever you want. Now, we know that doesn't happen, right? So with what she does and what The Secret offered, and after you do your research and do your you go through your spiritual awakenings and understand how manifestation works, frequency, vibration, whatever it may be, what is the difference between what she is doing? Because I've only done a little bit of research, I'll be honest with you, but how does she come across with regards to what she does and what she offers compared to what they were spinning with The Secret, which is still relevant, but there was obviously stuff that they didn't tell you in the marketing at the time. This is back in 96 days, so we've evolved, obviously. But, people going, oh, I'm going to go and get a book. I'm going to get a car. I'm going to start looking at red cars and I'll get a red car. They didn't realize it was more about internal. What's the difference between her and that book?
Okay. Well, the one thing that is mentioned in the book and in the movie, The Secret, that a lot of people missed out on is you might have to actually do something yourself.
Take inspired action.
That's
That's
right.
in alignment with.
They leave that part out for some reason. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
saying things might drop in your life like a Verti's gift. That can happen. But most of the time,
Absolutely
you actually take some step yourself. Give you an example
Yep.
with Helene Hatzel. She actually had to enter a contest.
Yeah.
Now, there's this story I like to tell people, help explain. There was this guy that prayed and prayed and prayed because he wanted to win the lottery. And he wasn't winning the lottery. Days win the weeks win the months. It's about a year. He still has not won the lottery. He has really prayed, earnest, sincere prayer. I've not won the lottery. And he said, he prayed one night, Lord, why have I not win the lottery? I've been praying all this time. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him that night and said, have you considered buying a ticket? See, we got to do our part.
Yeah.
There's some part, whether it be buy a ticket or align yourself or go against universal law, all those things. Yep, get you, mate. That's a nice
Okay.
answer.
So
There's
yes, it
only-
works, and it works, but sometimes it may not work overnight. It may be delayed, but a lot of times, people have an idea of how they're going to get something they want. It doesn't have to work that way. Like I tell people, forget the how. The how is not important.
Yeah.
The why is very important. Why do you want it? That's important. But
That's
the how
great.
is and
Great
like
answer.
you say, I tell people, what everybody, I say, success leaves clues. And even people that say the law of attraction and manifestation is BS, break down what they did to get where they got, and every one of them did basically manifesting at some point in their life. So it's
Absolutely.
I like to
Yeah,
say
that's great,
manifesting
mate.
isn't really like a trying process. You're already doing it. It's like your
Yeah.
beliefs being in alignment with your actions and your feelings, say like your vibration too, right?
Right. Like I tell people, you're going to make pictures in your brain anyway.
Yeah.
Why not make pictures of your brain yourself succeeding?
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be a voice in your head anyway. It could be your voice, your teacher's voice, your parents' voice, your who knows what voices in your head, but you got voices in your head. Some psychiatrists may disagree with me, but you all, everybody has a voice in their head. Quite often, it's a negative voice. It's a negative voice.
Great.
People have been told before they reach the age of 18 over 100,000 times in their life, no, you can't. You're too little. You're too young. You're too old. You're this. You're that. Wrong color. Wrong something. Wrong side of the tracks. Then I come along and say, yes, you can. So I got my work cut out. Right?
Your
Yeah.
belief systems
Well, you
are
can.
important. With your method in your group, you said the power of contemplation transforms dreams into reality. And I see that you focus a lot on teamwork. So can you tell us a little more about that?
I believe that group, like if everybody's of the same mind, that working together towards a common goal, it's like manifestation of steroids. Give you an example. I think it's on my website, but years ago there was this late night radio program, very popular at the time, Art Bell Show. I don't know if anybody remembers it now. It's maybe too far back. But he had an experiment with his audience. They were having droughts in certain parts of America, and he wanted them to concentrate or pray for rain. He quit doing it. Every time he did it, they had a flood.
Yeah.
So, think what you're doing. This is what I do, and this is what I work with. Group works. I mean, I'm not selling anybody on religion tonight, but as scripture says, where 2 or 3 are gathered together, one's good, 2 is better, and 3 is even better. Group manifestation. Give you an example. Even witches, whatever, like I said, I'm not knocking anybody, whatever you're into, but even witches have a covenant. There's a reason they do. Group is more powerful than single.
Yep.
And all having the same intention as well. Yeah, all having the same intention towards a collective goal. And I think right now what's going on the planet, as I talked about with Reggie a little bit before this, they're trying to get everyone to focus on certain outcomes or certain vibrations to manifest a certain reality, right? Putting things on the news, putting things in the media or whatever, and your algorithms. They're trying to get you to focus on something to manifest that. So this is a good way we can kind of counter that. We can do the same thing as well. And we're so powerful that they want to have our energy focus on that to create that. So we just have to work together instead of the separation consciousness, unique consciousness, come together and not for all the division tactics. And if we all work together and did your method, we would have, it would be a different world. It would shift. Everything would shift.
I even use this as an example. Sometimes you're just scrolling through the internet. You're trying to find you're trying to find some information. Have you never noticed how everything is trying to take your attention somewhere else?
Yeah. Attention is currency. Yeah.
It's set up that way. They want to take your focus away from what you're trying to focus on. I mean, like I said, it's almost like you're under spiritual attack sometimes. I mean, and it may be on purpose or may not, but I know it's like I just go on the internet, try to find try to do some research on something, and everything will be trying to distract your attention to something else. So
focus,
you gotta stay focused. You got to be clear on what it is you want. Like I don't judge anybody. What I do is, what is it you want? What is it you're after? And I try to help you get it. Whether it's being in shape, having peace of mind, having better material possessions. Like I said, once you get the material out of the way, then you get more into the spiritual. because a person who can't eat is having trouble eating, has a little trouble being spiritual. Sorry, but that's the way it is. You got to take care. We all come to the physical before we get to the spiritual.
Yeah.
Mate,
It has to manifest on a
with you.
spiritual level first, yeah, before physical, yeah.
I'm with you with that, with the environment, mate. It's the first thing you were saying. If we get a good environment, good vibe, good mindset, especially someone who's leading the other way, if in that way. So you go, rightio, this isn't working for you. The collective is scattered, where what you're saying and getting that team together, you're getting a good vibration, high vibration, which affects absolutely everybody and keeps them on target for themselves. Not the one thing is to keep on target for your goal, but the collective is helping you get to that goal. That's how I read it. And mate, good luck to you. I reckon it's fantastic. I'm all for it.
And talking about vibration, I'll bring something up. I asked a question of the group here. What is the least felt of all human emotion?
You said the least
Happiness.
Least felt.
Happiness.
Joy, yeah. I hope that's not that, but this probably isn't.
The least felt of all human emotion is gratitude.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I can't think of anything that'll raise anybody's vibration higher.
Yeah.
Being grateful for what you already have, seeing the abundance, that's your birthright. It's already within yourself. Like, yeah, basically. Yeah.
There's this Japanese guy, and he said, there's only one word you need in your life to make yourself successful. Arigato. Thank you.
Yeah.
And they said gratitude is a vibrational signature of already having something. I think Joe Dispenza someone said that. I think it was him. Yeah.
But it's the least felt of all human emotion is gratitude. So people wonder why they're getting what they want.
Yeah.
And people say, "Oh, you don't know my story." Well, guess what? I don't want to know your story. We all got a hard luck story. We've all had tragedy in our life. We've all had trauma. I mean, sometimes people think I'm a little cruel, but I say, get on with it. You got 5 minutes to feel sorry for yourself. Then get on with your life. You may not know this, but people are actually looking at you and wondering if you're going to make it. People look.
That's exactly what my coach did, Reggie, when I first started this journey. Greg Riley goes, "That's great. You've gone through all that," and exactly his exact words, and that's what I'm trying to live through. And I guess the only thing I will say to you, Reg, and mate, loving your conversation. So many of the collective at the moment in the world, and this is the world. This is why we're so close to four of us, five of us. The distractions are really playing a part. But the other thing, what I've found is people are starting to wake up. But the problem is they're still run by their ego because, as you said, whether it be trauma, whether it be whatever, they're still affected of I'm out now. I need to get to this place. Instead of having gratitude and going, rightio, I'm just going to do what I need to do to get in this. I found this new journey. I found the journey, should I say, and I've got to keep focus on that instead of trying to make excuses or whatever it may be. I'm trying to bring people together to get that same focus. That's the issue I see, especially in Australia, where we're so divided here. It's not funny, my friend.
Same thing here in America. Divisions all over. And that's exactly what the powers that be want. They want us divided.
They program us in lack mentality too. It's like it's never enough. You're always striving for more. This like unattainable goal. You're chasing something. You're not being a magnet of attraction. You're coming from a lack vibration or mentality.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, once again, success leaves clues. Like most successful people, they know what they want. They know they're going to get it, and they see themselves have it. And if there's a fourth thing I'd add is attitude. Attitude is so important. You got to find out who you are, what you're about. What is it that moves you? What is you want in life? I mean, way back in Greek times, they had the oracles that said, know thyself. I mean, if you don't know who you are, you don't know what you want. You don't know where you're going. You got to have a track in life. Like people talk about goals. I talk more about targets. I don't talk about goals that much, about 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. As long as you're on the right track and you're moving, you're good. But but most people, they're like, they're not even, they don't even have a rudder. They're just going along. Because even if, let's just say manifestation don't work. It's BS. Law of attraction don't work. It's BS. But if you have a clear vision of where you want to go, your mind has a tendency to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's why I say even positive thinking don't work, it works.
Yeah.
And I tell people, give it a shot. I may be full of it. Try it. See what happens.
No,
Well,
I
they
reckon
say
you're
you
right, mate.
attract. They say you attract who you are being, not what you want, like what you are being. So if
Exactly.
you're
You
not
attract who you
thinking,
are.
feeling, and acting like that
Yeah.
version, how can you manifest? How can that be your
Right.
reality? Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know who they are. You got to find out who you are and what it is you want and
I'll
why
go.
you want what you want. That's why I say the
How
why
about
is
if
a
I,
lot more powerful than the how. Don't worry about the how. If you want something, don't worry about the how because you can't see that far ahead. That's why I tell people go as far as you can see. When you get there, you can see further.
Stop trying to figure it out. It's like
Yeah.
the universe is like abundant. It's infinite. There are infinite ways that something could come to you, but you're so focused on this
Right.
path that you create resistance. So like kind of like blocks it. Like then this avenue's open over here for you to
Like
receive
I
this, but
brought,
you're so focused on this over here. Huh.
like I brought up the lottery. Well, well, do you want to win the lottery or do you want to be a multimillionaire? See, it's not important how you get there. If that's your thing, that's what you want. I talk about material things a lot, but this manifestation can be used for about anything you want, whether it's peace of mind, spirituality, anything. And like Helene Hatzell had a formula, which I go by, makes it simple. It's called SPEC. Have you heard of it? Select, project, expect, collect.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, you select
Yeah.
what you want. Then you project it. You see yourself already having it. Then you expect it. It's coming. It's just like you placed the order. You don't have to worry about it. You ordered it. It's online. You already ordered it. It's coming. And then collect. That's the fun part. It's the easy part. But if you don't expect it, you'll never collect it.
Yeah. That's so
I
true.
got a quick.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
What?
Sarah.
Oh no, that's okay. I was gonna ask you as well, like with all of these like selecting, expecting, and like, receiving that in the end, like collecting it. What would you say to the people? Now I've worked with a lot of clients on this myself where we work with manifestation. We do the we select it, we figure out, hey, what is it that you want? You project it, you feel the emotions of already having it, you visualize it, you put yourself in that position in your mind's eye, you really feel everything that having that would bring you. And then you're in the expecting mode and you're waiting, but then you get these shadow aspects of yourself that
Okay.
come up to work with. And I find when you're in that expecting mode, that's when those shadows that are the opposite of what it is that you're trying to call in, those blocks that are there standing in the way, get so loud when you're in that expectant mode, and it can throw you off and derail you because some of these shadow aspects are, and the beliefs are, I don't deserve it, that's not for me, it's not happened yet, why isn't it happening, like why has it not already happened? And all of these fears and all of these limiting beliefs will start to get really, really loud in that stage of expecting. Would you suggest, similar to what I suggest, which is when that happens, it's time to sit with those parts and really try to reframe and rewire those negative beliefs? Like, is that the best way
That's good, but
to
they
meet
have,
that head on,
yeah, what you were
in
talking
your
about, a
opinion?
lot of them deep down don't think they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And I use an illustration. I ask them, when a dog has babies, it has dogs, right? When a cat
Mm-hmm.
has babies, it has cats. When a God has babies, what does it have? And I say, are you a child of God? Does
Yeah.
your God want you to live under a bridge?
No.
You got to, believe you're worthy from the very fact of who you are, not anything you've done or going to do, but the very fact that you are, and you are a child of God, that you are worthy.
Yeah. For
And,
you,
and I tell people if they're religious, I say, who puts these desires in your heart? Like I find out where a person's at first. If they're
yeah.
religious, non-religious, atheist, whatever, it all works, but I have to find out what they're about. I can help work with them that way. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to believe you're worthy of it. And a lot of people deep down,
Yeah.
they don't believe they're worthy. Like they've been told, or somebody told them somewhere along the line, you bought somebody else's story about you.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
got
To reprogram your
somebody's story.
subconscious. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
And
if somebody's,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll ask
Go.
you then. Oh, I was going to say, so if somebody is in that mode and you make this discovery that they've selected, they've projected, and now all of these fears, these beliefs are coming up that say, I don't deserve that, I'm not worthy of that. What's your best advice to help guide people through those moments to help them feel into that worthiness? Like, what is the practice that you would do if somebody was in that spot where you notice they're blocked, you notice the beliefs are limited? How do you help your clients move through
I
that
have
to
to
be?
talk to them and convince them that they are God, not the God, but a God, that you are a child of God, and
Yeah,
you have the right to have a decent life. You have the right to have a good life. You have the right to have peace of mind. You have a right to these things as a child of God.
yeah,
I mean, once again, I go into religion. It depends, whatever you're into. But if a person's Christian, I say, did it say is the Father's goodwill to give you the kingdom? I mean, take him at his word. You say you're a Christian,
yeah,
why don't you start taking him at his word? If you're a Muslim, I can bring up Muslim where it says, if you're grateful for what you have, you'll get more. That's even an Islamic teaching. I take about any religion, I go back to their teaching, and they will teach this.
yeah,
So, if you're this and you believe in this, why aren't you acting on it? And
yeah,
one thing I say, visualization is good, but a lot of people, some I do a little different than others. They visualize disassociated. I visualize associated. Now, give me an example. Everybody likes to bring up a car, whatever you're into, whatever you want, right? But most people would like to have a nice car. So I just use that as an illustration. See yourself in the car. Don't see yourself out there.
Yeah.
See the car in your driveway. See yourself looking out the window, checking the rearview mirror. You have to associate your visualization, association, not dissociate. You have to live it because your brain knows something's up if he sees you driving down the street, driving a car. Your brain knows, wait, I can't see myself.
yeah,
So work with the way your brain works. Because like I say, a lot of people it's kind of off-putting, but once you get into it and you gotta live it and act like it's already done. And like I say, sometimes some things take more time than others, but just the peace of mind from manifesting, because when you get into it, you're going to feel great because you feel that your object of life, what you're trying to get, you've got.
yeah,
And
No, I like. Yeah, sorry, mate. Keep going.
that's one of the best things to fight stress. Stress is a great killer. That's just about your health. Stress. Do you know most people commit suicide on Monday? Most people die of a heart attack on Monday because they can't face another week of their life.
Wow.
And if you
yeah.
start seeing
I've heard
yourself
that.
living the life you want,
Wow.
go ahead, interrupt somebody.
Oh, no. I was just saying, I was agreeing
No.
with you. I was saying, yeah.
We're all agree. We're all
We're just
agreeing.
all in
We're all
awe
agreeing.
of that, like that statistic of the Monday thing. Like,
Yeah.
wow, okay,
You
that's
look
crazy.
at it, that happens. Monday is a very bad day because more people commit suicide on Monday. More people have a heart attack on Monday. They cannot see living another week of their life.
Yeah,
And if you see, living in the now is great, but most happy people have a compelling future. There's something they're living for, something they're looking forward to. When people start looking forward to something and not can see themselves in the future, just like you heard about that school shooting Columbine a few years back.
yeah,
These kids looked into the future and they couldn't see themselves in it. These kids saw no future.
yeah,
I don't think they would have ever done that. They saw a future for themselves. They saw no future.
yeah,
And that reflects our own lives. If we believe we can create and be and do what we have and be and do, our health improves, our stress is reduced, everything gets better about your life. Everything adds into everything. Just like I said, it's not one little thing. A little change in your life now is a big change down the road. I talked about trajectory. It's like in American football, if you throw the football, if you just slightly off like here, it'll be way off down there. And same with your life. A little change in your life now. When people start trying to change their life, they get overwhelmed. I say make a little change.
And you self-sabotage because it's too big of a it's to the nervous system. Yeah.
yeah.
A little change. Okay. I want to be healthy.
1%.
Okay, what can you do now today to be healthier? I mean, start dealing with your stress. Hey, exercise a little more or exercise a little less. Some people are exercising too much. It's a fact. But make something work for you. I mean, change your diet just a little bit. Okay, instead of having this, let's have a fruit juice instead of a soda. Just some little whatever. I mean, like I said, it's kind of complicated when it comes to nutrition. There's no hard and fast rules of nutrition, because I can go to studies of people that were healthy and lived, 100 and past. None of them had the same diet. So
That's right.
it variables on the diet, but they basically all had the same attitude.
Yeah.
They were looking. They didn't take life too seriously. They had a lightheartedness about them. That's why I say you only need 3 things to succeed in life: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. The wishbone is what we're talking about. The backbone is having the guts to stick with it and to trust your gut. The funny bone is not just having a sense of humor, which is a saving grace, but having some fun in your life. Most people, are you having any fun in your life? And they kind of look at me like a stop sign or something.
Yeah.
Enjoying your life.
That raises your vibration when you do what you love. Yeah, for sure. And then you attract better. Yeah.
You attract better. Once you start, and you can start believing that this is going to happen and things get better. I mean, like I like saying, like, I take all my worries and go outside and hang them on the worry tree. And somebody says, well, that worry tree is imaginary. I say, so are most of your problems.
Yeah.
It's imaginary. You blow it up in your mind. I say you make pictures in your mind anyway. Why not pictures of mind succeeding? Why not make pictures of mind you're being healthy? Why not make pictures of mind being healthy, happy? Why not? The times go past anyway. Start making some better pictures and see what happens in your life.
Yeah.
What about this concept for you, mate? That's spot on as far as I'm concerned. That's fantastic. That's what we try to teach. A lot of people I found, especially and when I moved into where I am, a lot of people have said, and I know myself, this is going into myself, I lived the dream and lived the outcome of the dream and how I felt. Say, for example, you want a car. Oh, I'm driving the car, but I haven't done the journey to get to that car, if that makes sense. Everyone gets excited at the start of anything. You've got whatever happens, you feel, oh, this is great. This is a great start. This will continue on. I think people don't get taught enough that there is a journey through this, and it's a journey of self-discovery, as you were saying. Like, the wishbone, backbone, funny bone, that's awesome. So what do you think about that concept of people just going, and I think it's universal every time you speak to someone, they don't want to do the work to get to there, but they're happy to have the feeling in there that makes it feel really good at the time. They think, oh, that's enough. And that's probably where I'm going with regards to when the secret came out. And I reckon that was planned in a way.
They read the part of the book they wanted to read, where I can just sit here and everything in my life will turn out great, and I'll fall into my lap like a fairy's gift. And yes, it can happen, but most of the time you are going to actually have to do something.
That's right.
And once you realize, that's why I also take personal responsibility. I mean, I don't care what has happened to your life and what somebody's done to you, this person, you have to take personal responsibility, okay? Whatever happens, I'm responsible. And go from there. Now, that doesn't let anybody off the hook for doing something bad to you, okay? But you take responsibility. And once you start saying, like I use a warrior example. A warrior takes a responsibility for what happens in his life. Whatever happens, I'm responsible. And like say, well, you start looking where that doesn't work in your life. But if you start taking responsibility for everything that happens in your life, then wait a minute, I'm responsible, so I can change it, right? As quickly as I messed up my life, guess what? I can fix it just about as quickly because I'm responsible. That's what I think. It's a philosophy of life.
Yeah, radical responsibility is really important to get yourself aligned to where you want to go. Take responsibility for the dreams that you have. Take responsibility for the thoughts in your mind, the beliefs that you still carry, the actions that you take throughout the day.
And what he's about, everybody has a dark night of the soul. Everybody has the doubts. That's where a coach comes in. That's what a coach is for. Would you play football without a coach? Would you try to play football without a team? So maybe you need a team and a coach. That's what I talk about.
Yeah.
Everybody has their dark night of the soul. Everybody has their doubts. Wait a minute, this isn't working. Okay. What can I do to make it work? Am I doing this right? Doing that right? The best thing is get started. Like I tell people, the hardest thing is deciding. All the rest is just tenacity.
Yeah.
Once you decide, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And come HE double toothpicks or high water, this is what I'm going to do. And that can go for your spirituality, your materialism, whatever it is you're trying to get and achieve in your life. I don't tell people how to live their life. I just try to tell people how to get what they want in life. What are you at? What are you trying to do? Let's work to get you there. I'm a coach. I'm here to help.
Yeah.
But you got to do your part. I mean, I can tell you all about how to run the ball down the field, but if you don't put the ball up there and run down the field, it's not going to get there, right?
Yeah. If you run down the field and you don't have the ball in your hand, you're only doing half the job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he said, he didn't coach me right. Well, I didn't tell you not to put the ball in your hand. Come on. But,
Yeah.
But okay. And once again, when people in life, you're going to fall down. But that's what having a network is about. That's what having a team is about. They're there to pick you up when you fall down. Everybody's going to fall down. But when you fall down by yourself, it's a lot rougher than you got a positive team, a network around you that's for you.
Yeah. Having that community.
Back up once you've fallen down.
Yeah.
It's
community
a good leadership.
is an important aspect to it.
There's great leadership there. There's great leadership in that, Reggie. That's what I think we're lacking in the world. I think that's what we're driving ourselves to be. What you say, we're navigating through we're navigating through our lives to be the leaders, not to give you and tell you what we're not going to tell you and give you your life. You've got to get it yourself. Everyone says that, but I think people, obviously it's how hard it is at the moment. The world's brutal, let's be honest. But at the same time, that gives us an opportunity to become leaders and help people take back their lives. And that's it. Yeah, we can help them. That's a key word. But we've got the tools and the motivation to help them as you are right now. And that's our job. And that's what we've been put on this earth for.
Yeah, just like there was a famous naturopath, and he used to think, I'm the healer. And then he'd tell you have to heal yourself. I'm going to help you do it, but your healing is dependent on you. Once again, they have to take responsibility now for their healing. He's going to do. He's a naturopath. He knows all kinds of ways to help you, besides just regular doctoring to whatever your problem is. But he no longer looks at himself as the healer. He is the person that helps you heal yourself. Your healing is up to you now, not him. Because he used to say, I'm the healer. And then they come back later. Like give me an example. He helped them get over their cancer. And then a little while later, they had cancer again. Well, what had they done to give, and I'm going to upset a lot of people right here, right now, I'm sure, but what they'd done to give themselves cancer came back.
Yeah.
They got over it by doing what he told them to do, but they were still had whatever it was in their life that caused them to have the cancer is still there. Yeah. So their healing is up to them. It should have been all along. It's just like some famous way back doctor said, I can't heal you until you're willing to give up the thing that made you sick.
Yeah, that's true.
Environment is such a good indicator of whether or not that's going to continue or come back as well. If you're doing all the right things, you're taking the supplements, you're going to the appointments, you're getting your IVs and your massages and all of the different things, but you're living in a really stressful environment that isn't necessarily supportive of the healing. There's constant bickering, arguments, fighting, raised voices. Maybe there's all the funds are going to your medical stuff and there's not enough to create healthy meals on the table. Then that environment isn't supportive of the healing. So it's only looking at half the equation to be able to try to get the whole or the total.
Goes down the path of self-improvement, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people in their lives, which usually that's your biggest problem, is the people in your life are going to drop out on their own. But sometimes you have to get rid of them. Sometimes your biggest problem, I'm sorry, but your biggest problem is sleeping in bed next to you.
Yeah, I heard that too.
It's
Sorry, I gotta
just
laugh at
this.
that one.
Like I say, okay, you're an Olympic athlete, you're an Olympic swimmer, you're the best in the world, you're world champion. You cannot win if you got a big old weight around your neck, can you?
No.
So
Yeah.
that's so that's the harsh truth right there. Sometimes
Yeah.
to get where you want to go in life, whether it's to heal yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever, financially, you're going to have, some people are going to have to drop out of your life. Usually they drop out on their own. I find out in my own experience, they drop out on their own. But sometimes you're going to have to get rid of somebody.
You have to set boundaries and think about that version, that healthy version of you that has a dream life. Would they be interacting with those kind of people? Would you be allowing them to negatively affect you? That's also stepping into that
Yes.
version. And so, what do you think, from all the clients that you have and the group that you have, what do you think the biggest struggle or maybe block that they feel when they're trying to manifest their dream life? Like, what's the roadblock that they keep coming up on? I know we've listed a few things, but what do you think is like the main thing that's blocking or
Well,
feels
mostly
like
if
it's
somebody's
blocking
been
people?
into it for a while, they're going to stick with something until they get it. But most, like somebody that's new, I tell them, and when you first start manifesting, you first start doing this work for yourself, don't tell anybody about it. Keep it to yourself. No bragging before bagging, because there's a lot of negative ninnies in the world. And they're going to tell you all this manifestations of, oh, well, I bought the secret, or I did this, or I went to, let's use some names here, not knocking by Kevin Trudeau. It didn't work for me. Kevin Trudeau went to prison. We saw a manifestation. It didn't work. We're just talking about you right now. And I use an example. I mean, that's why I like to point out Helene Hatzel. Look at her life. She was just a little Texas housewife. She got everything she ever wanted. And this is before the book, The Secret. One guy in The Secret said she should have been in The Secret. It's working for
All
her.
that. Yeah.
It's working for her. It's showing that it's not, there's more to it than just doing. Because a lot of other people are in the contest too, but she's winning. Why? There's some little extra here going on. And that's the manifestation. That's why she came out to spec. And like in her own life, like she's just a little housewife. She got like, I think, just a little paperback book on positive thinking. And one sentence in there really resonated with her. It said, you can have anything you want, as long as you know what it is, and you see yourself as already having. She didn't know any better.
Yeah.
She just went with it. And
She was committed to life. She was committed to that.
Yeah.
That
she went to her husband and said, well, I read this book. It's really interesting. What would you like? He says, well, they're having this contest here for outboard motor. Okay. So then she said, I wonder how long it'll take him to tell me I won. See, she didn't know any better. She didn't have the negative thought. She wasn't bright enough to be negative. She just, this guy that wrote the book's a doctor. He's got to be right? So she had complete faith and trust that this was going to work. And it worked for her again and again and again. And she became famous back in her day in their own right. And her books are still selling now. I mean, she's still out there. And like I said, it's worked for me in my life. It works better. And sometimes things take time. They're going to take time. But the time's going to pass anyway, right? Why nullify all the positive work you've done? Stick with it. Like I said, you might have to adjust something you're doing, or may have to visualize a little different. Whatever. Try this, try that. But
Try something different. Try a different approach. Yeah. And
yes,
just don't give up. Just keep, seeing what works for you. Yeah.
If Helene Hatzel didn't work for you, I don't like that old lady. Let's go with Neville, whatever his name is. Let's go with him. Let's go with this guy. This guy over here is manifest. Let's see how he does it. But
you can't, at the end of the day, you're keeping focus on what yourself. You're going into silence. You're not getting involved with society as such, and also controlling. I always have a big one with controlling the ego as such, because there's a lot in. That's probably why, from your conversation today, Reggie, that I see that people are really invested in the ego. I'm trying to be as good as they can be. That's why they're telling everybody, but that goes against universal law. Really, you're allowed to have whatever you want, and unfortunately, especially in Australia, we've got the tall poppy syndrome. That you go, and this is the best lesson. And thank you for the lesson, my friend. That you don't have to go and tell anyone anything, because they'll, especially in Australia, they'll hit you back and go, oh, what the hell are you doing that? Da, 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 all this garbage and crap. That's why we've got tall poppy. And it does kill your psyche a little bit, especially when people are trying to get up. But then again, you have to be aware to sort of step away, have the courage to step away, have the courage to do what you just said, to get out and say, right, I'm the number one. Okay, within yourself, you just do it yourself, and then exactly do what you need to do to get to get to your goal, and that's basically you, yourself, and I at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But like I said, yeah, until you've done it or got a few wins under your belt, why tell anybody about it? But unless you're got a positive thing, just like Helene Hassel's husband was very supportive. He said, "Okay, great, let's try this." You know, he wasn't negative to her, but if he had said, "That's ridiculous, that stuff is ridiculous," then that we would have never heard or known about this great old lady and all her work she did, and
Being
how many people she's
open-minded. Yeah, for
inspired by,
sure.
and all the books she's written.
Yeah.
And you may have never heard of the mind control, Silva. Yeah, Silva mind control. You may have heard because she was one of his main assistants. She helped spread it throughout the United States.
Yeah.
See, great things have little beginnings.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Like I
fan-
said,
yeah.
it's how you see things. Like I used to hold up a little acorn. Say, "What do you see?" Somebody say acorn, and I say, "No, I see a tree which creates a forest, which buildings are built from this forest, cities built from this forest. Vitamin-rich paste is made to serve starving children." That's how you see things.
What you
And all
focus on
this,
expands
it's
too. Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
beginning. Everything is a little beginning. But like I say, attitude is so important. I mean, I don't know the exact quote, but even W.C. Fields back in the day said, "Attitude is more important than anything." I've had people argue with me. Well, great, argue, but attitude is more important than anything. More important than money. More important than education. More connections. Because attitude will take you, nothing else will. Like
I guess
it's the belief that you can do it. Your attitude. I'll give you an example. Like, remember the 4-minute mile? Nobody could break the 4-minute mile for years. No runner in the world could break the 4-minute mile till it was broken. And then everybody broke the 4-minute mile because one person showed it could be done.
They saw it was possible. They just need to believe it's possible. Sometimes you even have to fully believe. Just if you could at least believe it's possible. Like some people aren't always going to be confident, but just be open. Yeah.
But nobody did. No, you can't. No, nobody can run the 4-minute mile. It can't be done. People have been running for years. Nobody's run the 4-minute mile until a guy did, and then a bunch of people broke the 4-minute mile.
Yeah.
And what do you have to say about detaching? Like, so a lot in manifestation, they talk about detaching from the outcome. It's not that you don't want it, but it's like you're not overly like emotionally attached to it, because when you do that, it builds resistance, right? So it's not flowing to you. You're like, so you're not. That's not in the vibrational alignment of having it, right? So what do you have to say about detaching from the outcome if someone has trouble detaching? Yeah.
I have kind of agree with that. Although you might take out certain time during the day, you don't have to do it every day to think and manifest and what it is you want. But once you put in your order, you don't stress about it, do you?
Yeah.
If you put an order in online, you taking your credit card, whatever online, you put an order at the restaurant, you're not stressed about it. You're just waiting there. You know it's going to be here in a few minutes.
You don't really care about the timing. Yeah, it's the how and the when. It just
it's going to come. You have a conversation with whoever you're dinner with.
Divine timing too.
You put in your order and you don't think about it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You know it's going to happen because you put in your order. Now,
you decided,
you may have to refresh it from time to time to get back on track, but as long as it's in the back of your mind, it's going to be there. Like people have different ideas. Like some people with negative thoughts, they'll put a rubber band around their wrist. They start thinking negative, they'll snap the band. Why? Because we have a tendency to move away from pain. If that thought is causing you pain, you'll move away from it. Or people have prayer beads. Like you can have a marble or a smooth little stone pebble. Just while you're scrolling or doing something or just watching TV, think about what it is you want, your manifestation, while you're doing that. And before long, you're not even thinking about your manifestation, but you're still doing this. So it's in your subconscious now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But
you're still doing that. So once it's in there, let it go. Let universe, God, whatever your belief is, let them take care of it. I love, I heard this the other day. You get on the bus and you relax. You don't know who the driver is. You get on the plane and you fly. You don't know who the pilot is. So why not get in life and relax, let God do what he does?
Enjoy the flight, enjoy the
Enjoy the
ride,
flight.
enjoy the journey. Too many people
Yes.
are too much in a rush to get to the destination, and then
Right.
when they don't even appreciate when once it gets there, then they're focused on chasing the next thing. I think people don't slow
Right.
down to have gratitude and
Enjoy the
enjoy the
journey.
present
Exactly.
moment. Yeah,
Enjoy the journey.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This has been a fantastic chat, my friend.
Yeah. It's been really good.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
glad you
you for
enjoyed
coming
it.
on. Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, I love talking about manifestation. I think it's interesting to hear different people's perspectives and just how we can shift our own consciousness to a higher level. So we can empower ourselves instead of living the reality that others put out for us.
Right.
Like we can overcome
Yeah.
the society norms and like live our own authentic life.
Right. It's like so, it's your story. I'm going to help
Yeah,
you write it, but your story.
yeah,
Write your story. Like
Yeah.
say, I don't decide or judge you for what you want out of life. I'm just here to help you get it. Hopefully, it's legal.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, Reggie, when it comes to manifesting, and this happens to me a lot, I'll say, oh, I want more money. And
Right.
then I'll feel that in my body. I'll do all the things I'll expect and collect. A lot of the times, and this kind of goes with like focusing on how it's going to come. If I say I want more money, a lot of times I'll just suddenly be given a bunch of things that I would spend that money on for free. I'm
Mhm.
not getting the money, but I'm still getting the value of those things. So it's like, it's almost like the universe is hearing or somehow seeing what I would spend that money on and bypassing the money and just giving me the thing instead. When that type of thing happens, I don't know if this has happened in your groups or not, if people will try to manifest one thing, but then receive a whole bunch of other things in lieu of that, or either while it's coming or instead of that, and then realize, like, oh, I would have spent my money on this anyway. Now that it's been given for free, I've got money. I didn't
Right.
win any money. Oh, but now I have my money freed up. The money that I've made for myself is now freed up for me to do other things. Do you ever get that or experience that in your groups and
Oh
have
yeah.
people go, oh, well, I'm not getting anything,
I say be
but they're just
thankful
not seeing
for what you
what's
got
actually coming?
because it's still fulfilling your wishes. Maybe not exactly the way you want them fulfilled, but
Mhm.
maybe like I said, and then sometimes, okay, thank you, universe, thank you, God. Now let me be a little more specific here. Here's what I would really like to have, and
Yeah.
let's work on this, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
But things don't always work out exactly like I say, but that's where you got it's believe in yourself. That's like I say, two big things I'm into. Intent. What is my intent? Where am I headed? What do I want? What am I trying to do? Gut. Trusting the gut. The gut will help guide you to get it. Like I said,
Yeah.
sometimes it will fall in your lap like a fairy's gift. Sometimes you got to work for it. But the gut is like a compass. It will help get you there. Learn to trust your gut. It knows more than you do.
Yeah. It's so true.
And
It's
like I said,
actually more power. The neurons in your gut are more powerful than the neurons in your brain, especially when it comes to this level of manifestation and this level of action that we're talking about here.
here in America, we have an area called the Ozarks. I live close to it, not actually in the Ozarks. It's a kind of like in Arkansas, Missouri. And there's this
Mhm.
healer that lives in the Ozarks that studied folklore and all that. And he's combined all that. He's a healer from the Ozarks. And his big thing is intent and imagination. He says you ought to be able to do your work in a jail cell just as well as you were doing work in your kitchen with your ingredients. Whatever ingredients he has to do his work in healing. Y'all be able to do the same thing in a jail cell.
Yeah.
Intent and imagination. What is your intent? Use your imagination. See it. Your intent.
And go to the end. Yeah, the end
Yeah.
goal. Yeah.
But like I
Yeah.
say, he's a healer in the Ozarks, and he's used old Ozark practices, and I think some things I heard from old people in my family, it connects a lot of things little things that they did and said, because a lot of times they didn't have doctors in healing. They had to be able to stop blood there at the point. They'd have something they'd say verbally to stop blood, and it worked again and again and again. whatever you think about, believe about it, it worked. Intent and
Yeah.
imagination.
Yeah, that's so true. It reminds me, I know Jay has to go in a few minutes here, so we should wrap this up, but it just quickly reminds me of I watched this documentary about Paris Hilton. And when she was younger, she was her parents were building up their fortune and things like that, but they had shipped her off to a one of those boarding schools that
Yeah.
ended up being pretty corrupt and abusive. And she spent a lot of her youth in a basically cell, like you were saying, in a jail cell.
Yeah.
And she would just imagine herself in her own beautiful home with land, with puppies, with all of these things that she ever could have wanted. She would imagine like having her own perfume line, having her own line of purses, being on TV, all of these different things. And she was literally sitting there imagining herself in those situations, like what you're saying, being in the car. Imagine
Right.
yourself in the car. She would sit in that cell, essentially, that they would put her in for bad behavior, and just imagine she was in a beautiful mansion. And
Yeah.
she would just put herself there. And now she has all of that stuff. And she was, from my understanding of that documentary, she was actually self-made. She didn't actually take any of her parents' money. All of the
Right.
money that came from her fortune was something that she created herself because she believed so and intended to live that lifestyle so much that it came true for her.
Yeah.
And
Well,
now she has all of the things.
I heard a story a while back about Marilyn Monroe that when she was a young actress in Hollywood, pretty much an unknown, she looked over all the lights. I've been to Hollywood, and it's an interesting. She looked over the lights, and she thought, "What? How many other young actresses are out there dreaming of success?" And she said, "But I'm dreaming harder than anybody."
That's the key. You gotta do it harder
Yeah.
than everybody else. Or at least believe you are.
You're trying to get all these other people, but I'm doing it harder than anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's
we
been a
should
great chat, Reggie. I really appreciate having you on. I know Jay's got to get going, so I guess so.
Yeah, I
Where
hope
can
some of your
people?
listeners got something from this today.
Yeah,
Mate,
definitely.
I'll tell you,
I think this is a very empowering chat, and it really inspires people to raise their consciousness and take responsibility for their own creations. Like we're creators, you know, we came here to create and to collectively create. So if people want to find you or your website or join your group, where can they find you?
Okay, it's our dream is letter R dream DREAM is is.com. And I'm all over social media. I'm on YouTube. Just look for Reggie Bowles. Find me.
Awesome.
Great. Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming and joining us today, Reggie. It was
Oh,
really
I enjoyed it.
insightful.
Glad to
Yeah,
be
thank
here.
you.
And yeah, it was really
I
great.
got a lot out of it, my friend. Got a lot out of
Good.
it, my friend. Ladies
Well,
and
great
gentlemen,
day,
this
everybody.
has been Life Theories episode 67 with Reggie Bowles, mate. It was a fantastic chat. You want to catch hold of him, you can look up Reggie Bowles and you'll be able to find him. Also on Life Theories, you can find us on Spotify, YouTube. We've got everything everywhere as best we can. That's why we got hold of Reggie. And thank you so much again for coming on board. This has been Life Theories. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next episode, episode 68. We're getting up there. Take care. Have a great day. Manifest what you need to manifest. I'm going to go and feed some kangaroos. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Have it going. Bye.